Hello and welcome back to Brightleaf Tarot. Today I'm going to do a VR to Lisa from Supportive Tarot. The hashtag is Top 10 Tarot 22. I think that's right. But I wanted to start off by showing you two things that I discovered this last year that I just really loved. They're not directly tarot related, but I feel like they are in the realm that someone watching this video might find interesting. The first one is Viva. It is a sandalwood incense. And what I like about this style of incense is it's actually just incense. There's no like little bamboo core or anything, so it's a little less smoky. I'm just gonna light this so we have a little something hanging on in the background. So usually what I do with the ones that don't have a wooden core is once that they have been lit and they start burning, I have a little cup here that I keep filled with sea salt. And that way, as the stick burns down, the salt, it's not combustible, so it just automatically kind of snuffs out the incense. If you put it into one of those like traditional wooden incense burners, I've just seen them singe, and I'm not here for a fire. So, yeah, I bought it in a larger box. It came with a bunch of them, and it's a Japanese incense from Nippon Kodo. I just love it. It smells great. And yeah, if you like incense, I think I want to classify it as natural. I don't know that I should. I don't think it has any like synthetic fragrances and things. Japanese incense is usually pretty like clean in terms of ingredients. But yeah. The next thing on my list is this obsidian carving that I got. And I think it is supposed to be like Virgin Mary or Guadalupe, but it's just so beautiful. And of course, you can see that sort of rainbow obsidian variation in there better in the light. It's just kind of flat on the back. It's not as highly polished. And it flat on the bottom, so I can just sort of like keep it standing up. But I just find it's just really pretty. So I really like that. Now, on to the tarot decks. Do these have any particular order? No. Because, why would I do that? That would require me to put more time and thought into these videos. And I'm just here for the chaos. The first one, because it's the closest to me, is the Moon Baby Tarot. Now, this is edition 1. And edition 1, there's 2 editions. Edition 1 has these beautiful, and I don't know, the sun from the window is pretty bright. It's like this beautiful pastel pink. Here, let me put my pastel pink hand behind it to really show it off. Great idea. Brant did a recoloration of the hoi polloi. So if you've ever heard of the hoi polloi, it's sort of a knockoff 1970s RWS, and they took the art and just sort of simplified it. I think it was just to get around a like copyright issue. Now I believe that the RWS art is copyright free, if I'm not mistaken. But I just love these sort of like 70s pinks and tangerines and like acid green and brown, and it just shouldn't work, but it does. It works so good. And Brant is a fellow tarot nerd. Sorry, Brant, that's who you are. And they put so much thought into the quality of the cardstock. This is easily my favorite cardstock that I've ever used. It shuffles so easily. The pastel pink doesn't make it hard to hold or manipulate. It's not sharp like some of the gold gilding is. It's not too thick and chunky. It's really just like a standard size deck. Beautiful. The first edition is no longer in print. However, I just looked this morning, and Brant still has on his Etsy page edition 2 of the Moon Baby Tarot. And what makes the second edition a little bit different is that instead of the pastel pink, it's this sort of like light avocado green, and it's so beautiful. And I might buy a second copy. It's just too pretty. I don't know how I could say no. All right, where do I go next? Okay, let's go to, this is one of my newest additions to my collection, and this is the Dust to Onyx. Beautiful, beautiful art, and foiling on the cards just really pulls you in. It just makes the art so, so beautiful. Not that it needed any help. It's beautiful regardless. But the foiling, let's see if I can find any that has like extra foiling on it. There's some coins in there. The hair. Just beautiful. This cardstock is, it's a little bit larger. It's got that kind of like velvety, I don't know if I would go all the way to saying rose petal finish. I'm sure people would call this rose petal. I find that it's a little bit easier to shuffle than rose petal, and it does have the really, really nice gilding. This is the style of gilding that doesn't annoy me, and it's like that matte gilding. So it's not sharp, it's not overly shiny, it doesn't create a lip on the cards. I really, really like that. A cardstock that is very similar to this is the Star Seeker Tarot. Now, full disclosure, I already owned this deck, but in 2020 I rehomed it, and I just missed it so much. Like, there's something about this deck. So I had a little FOMO, and I repurchased it. It just came last month or something like that. Beautiful, dusty, like violet purple edging. Again, this is that type of edging I like, where it's like not, it doesn't create a lip, it doesn't interfere with the cards, and it has like that very, very similar velvetyness that the Dust to Onyx deck has. Dust to Onyx feels thicker. Just sort of like holding the cards. The Dust to Onyx feels a little thicker. And Dust to Onyx, you know, it's a big, chunky card. And Star Seeker is, I want to say, exactly the size of like a traditional tarot card size. I really, you know, I don't love computer manipulated artwork, but I think there's something really special about the Star Seeker Tarot where it doesn't, I don't know, I don't want to say it doesn't take itself seriously. That's not the right word, but it's like, it's not pretentious. So it doesn't really pretend that it is not what it is. It is, you know, computer manipulated art. But the characters have this quality, sorry that they're not really looking as crisp on camera, but it looks almost collage-y. Like, I would believe that these images were maybe like cut and pasted onto the backgrounds. They're not, I mean, they are digitally, but there's something about sort of like knowing who it is and not pretending that it's like this fully rendered, three-dimensional, you know, artwork. I really like it. This I find a little bit, this is a little strange. It's a little bit harder to shuffle to me than the Dust to Onyx. That shouldn't be the case, but somehow it is. But I think once it breaks in, it'll be fine. Okay, now the next deck is Fjorder Pavlov. This is the indie, and the mass market is out. It's available through US Games. I'm not sure how they compare with each other, but I realized as I was putting this collection of my top 10 decks together, there's a lot of foiling, a lot of metallic foiling. That was not on purpose. It's just what I liked. But I love these backs, like so, so beautiful. And Fjordor's artwork is really cool. It's very inclusive. It's got these like sepia tones with like accents of blue, white, and red. Very traditional, follows the RWS pattern very, very closely. But just it's just beautiful. The cardstock is amazing. I hope that the US Games cardstock is the same, because it is so nice to shuffle. So, okay, that is, what is that, 4? The next one I just talked about in my last video, and that's the pre-Raphaelite art tarot. Pre-Raphaelite tarot. I mean, it's art. Okay. How can you not love these insane backs? Insane. Like, that is wild and so cool. Super saturated art. So beautiful. And it feels maximalist without feeling annoying. You know, it's not overwhelming. Everything that's in the image has a purpose. It's there to convey the meaning, to connect to the story within the card. I love that they're borderless. I love these just like super rich colors. So cool. Amazing deck, easy to shuffle. It is Low Scarabeo? It's Low Scarabeo. Easy to get, very easy to find. Why don't you have it? It's so good. If you have it, comment below. I want to know that I'm not the only person who's like obsessed with the pre-Raphaelite tarot. Okay, let's say the next one is going to be the Tarot des Carlotides. And that's a Fournier deck. Beautiful, like just the thought that went into designing the inside of this box. It's just really thoughtful. And it's a really simple, you know, really simple tuck box, but it was nice that they kind of added the back to the inside of the box. And I love these backs. Again, maybe I'm a maximalist. I don't know. And again, this is a deck that has something I really don't like, which is computer art. I don't love it, but for some reason, they just really, I don't know, it like works for me. It's simple without being too simple. And the deck has that very typical Fournier cardstock. It's snappy, it's easy to shuffle, and it's a little bit smaller. So let's see, I'll grab, excuse me, I'm going to take your time. Okay, so here is the Fjorder pavlov. We're going to call this the Rider-Waite-Smith size, and then here is the Fournier. And then, just to go real crazy, here is the Dust to Onyx. And the Dust to Onyx is slightly shorter than the Fjorder, so maybe the Fjorder is bigger than the RWS. Uh-oh. I should have really looked into that before I started showing you things. But that's not what we're here for, is it? Don't come for me. But if you want to come for me nicely in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. The next, I'm going to show another Fournier. So why not, right? Tarot del Romero. That's right. Tarot del Romero. Again, same card quality, same card stock as the Tarot des Carlotides. I don't love, I mean, like, okay, now I love the back. But why? Do we need that? We don't need that. It's annoying. But luckily I like the front so much that I don't care about the backs. Like, super weird, really colorful. I just love, I just love throwing them on the ground. I just love these styles of like hyper, I don't know, wacky, just like the face on that dog is like, yeah. I find that this style of art is really fun to use when I've been using too many decks that are serious, or too many decks that just like get me stuck in my head, and it's like a deck that's really fun and quirky like this really helps me just sort of, I don't know, like free up my intuition again. I really appreciate that. So the next deck is going to be one that I haven't used a lot, but I do conceptually really like it, and that is the True North Tarot. Now, mine got really dinged up in shipping. This box really saw some damage. However, the cards are perfectly good. So, you know, and the creator was so sweet, very nice, very easy to talk to about the damage. They were extremely helpful. What I really love about this deck is that these cards are a really strange size. They're made to sort of replicate a Polaroid. And so if you look really close, like it almost has that like, it has like the texture. I don't know if that's picking it up on the camera. Does that help? That's not helping. Why do I think that's going to help? It didn't. But they look like a Polaroid. So this is the back. I love the back. This card is very heavy on the foiling. And I really like even these like sort of hand written fonts. And it's, you know, photo, the art is like photography, but then overlaid is this like foiling. And again, I would call this an intuitive deck. I just feel like the creator made really good choices when it came to the art and the photography, and yeah, I just really like it. It's definitely not my normal go-to, but you know, I felt like there was something nostalgic about the Polaroid thing, and yeah, I just kind of thought they were fun. So the next one, this one's my newest, I believe. And I'll show you, I'll put a link in my profile, but this is a tarot box that I get them just from Amazon, and they are magnetic, and it's like suede on the inside, and you know, there's kind of plenty of room in there, so it could fit a much thicker deck, but I just love these because nice and hard. You could throw it into a backpack, into your purse, whatever you've got. You could throw it on the floor. I don't know. It's going to be fine. It's like the OtterBox of tarot. Now, put this away. This is, I'm sure you recognize, the Raven's Prophecy. Now, this is a deck that I saw for a long time, and I just never felt called to it. And one day I was just, I don't know, I was just kind of like on YouTube looking at walkthroughs, and it just caught my eye this time. And I felt like I love these, let's see, I love that there's a lot of negative space in here. I love that there's a lot of like black backgrounds, because it almost does the opposite of what you think it would do. Like the void of that depth feels like endless, but somehow it feels like it pulls me in. Like it's got this gravitational pull that just makes me want to look deeper into these cards. And I would say this is a great, great deck for doing something like shadow work, or something that's maybe a little bit more pathworky. Page of Coins, look how cool that is. Because I feel like it's highly intuitive. It deviates definitely from, you know, what we would traditionally say for, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith or something like that, but not so much that it's hard to read. I love it. Just really cool. I can't wait to work with it more. I find the art to be really, really engaging. Let's see. And I think, do I just have one more? That seems wild. So, again, speaking of like, normally, you know, my decks are just in the box that came in. Here is a tarot bag that I've purchased a few of these. I probably have like half a dozen or something. And I am going to post the link for them on Etsy. I like them because they're sort of like, there's batting in there, really, really thin batting, but it gives the cards a little bit more protection while they're in the bag. And just a simple, you know, I just tuck the string. That didn't work because there's no cards in there. But I usually just tuck the string behind the little twist, and it works perfect. And the deck that I'm keeping in there is the Dirt Gems. And this, I don't use a lot of oracles. I love this oracle. Oh my gosh, do you have it? Do you love it? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I got the first edition, and I liked it so much I got the second edition. There are just a couple changes in the second edition with the art. I just love this art. And actually, this is interesting now that I sort of like accidentally paired it with the Raven's Prophecy. Again, this is a deck that has a lot of black, and I feel like it pulls you into the image instead of like feeling dark or scary or something. And they're not all hyper colorful, like some of them are just this sort of like gray and white. But I just love them. Here's one that's like very colorful. The background is blue. It's kind of a nice touch. Okay, so the cards, they're great. I love them. They're beautiful. The art is amazing. What makes this deck really stand out for me is actually the book. And I don't know how well you know me, but I actually don't really love guidebooks. I tend to just like flip through it and go like, oh, cool, I'll get it. And if there's something that like is really specific to the art, I might look and see if they make reference or acknowledgments to things. But this guidebook is one that I use every time I'm using the Dirt Gems deck. It's not full color or anything, but it doesn't have to be. But there's a full page for every entry. And what's nice is, because it's sort of like plant-based, there's an herbal description that kind of goes with the card, but then there is like this beautiful, deep, poetic, just like layered description that just feels like therapy. And it's like, it feels so good. This deck is so fun to like, just like go deep on something. And I don't know, like I'll do a one card reading and I'm just like blown away. And it's like, you know, the description is just a page, nothing crazy, but it's enough to like really, really tell you this whole story and like unravel kind of the mystery of the card. And the paperback is sort of, maybe I would call it, you know, that like rose petal finish, which is nice. The cards themselves, not. It's just, you know, simple, not glossy, not matte. I mean, there's a little gloss there, but there's a huge windows right here. But yeah, easy to shuffle, super fun deck. Okay, let's, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miss one? I think I did. Okay. Hold that thought. Okay. I forgot one. So, number 10. Number 10 is the Mahogany Tarot. And I don't know that I've heard very many people talk about it. I think someone must have recommended it to me on Instagram. It's classic Waite Smith illustrations, and they're redrawn by Kashira Hickson. And what makes this deck so special? Everything. It is like all the things that you want from diversity in a Rider-Waite Smith deck, but done thoughtfully. Like the hair, the skin, the features. It's not like some other decks on the market, Wiser, that really phoned it in, you know. I'm trying to use nice language, but I'm feeling spicy, so. But it's so beautiful. It's just really, really classic Waite Smith, but, you know, all of these people are melanated. The Mahogany Tarot, please, please look into it. It is so beautiful. You know, it's like, and this is what we want to see. I want to see, you know, thoughtful representation, not just representation for the sake of like getting diversity points. You know, you can tell when it's done for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Beautiful deck. The backs are this, I don't know that I love them, but I don't hate them. They're fine. I don't think these are fully reversible, if that matters to you. The card quality, it's really nice. Nothing crazy. It's, you know, smooth, but I like the snappiness to them. They're not too thin. They're not too like, this is the whole deck together. And I think it's a very regular traditional size. I like when indie decks feel like mass market decks. I know that's controversial. I don't love mass market card quality always. Brant, you did a great job. But I feel like a lot of times people try to go like really in on using card quality that's just like too hard to shuffle. It's like beautiful for art, but I really want these decks to be working decks. And for a working deck, I need something that's like easy to shuffle. I'm a bridge or a riffle shuffler. And that really, it's like doing that kind of pulls me into that headspace. So if I'm using a deck and I can't like accurately or easily shuffle it, it just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I'm tripping on my words. You know, I'm like, my intuition is like starting and stopping. It's not able to just flow. So anyways, yeah, this was, deck 860 out of 1,000. So, hey, I'll put a link below. I hope that there's a couple left. And if not, I hope that Kashira does a second or third or whatever printing. I don't know how many there have been done. This says it's the first printing 2021. So go buy it. And if it's not there, tell Kashira that you want to get it. Because especially indie creators, you know, it's expensive to do those print runs. And if enough people tell them about it, then guess what? They might be able to reprint it. So that is, I believe that's my top 10 Tarot 2022. Thank you so much, Lisa, for making this hashtag. I love doing VRs, so if there's any kind of VR that you see out there that I have not yet done, please link it below. Put it in a comment. I would love to do a VR for you. They're just so fun. Hopefully this one isn't too chaotic. I've had a lot of caffeine. And this is actually the second time I've done this video. I did this walkthrough yesterday, and because I don't use any ring lights or anything, I'm just using the natural sunlight. Yesterday was a shitty day. It was like really gray, really dark, and I watched back the video and it was like so creepy. Like it was just, you could just see me and it was like too dark. It was weird. So anyways, that's who I am. I'm gonna redo a video just so that you can feel less creeped out. So please tell me if there's anything you want me to do in terms of a VR or a hashtag. I would love to do that for you. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And as you know, it helps all of us indie creators out. Thanks so much. I hope that you saw some decks here that were interesting to you. Look in the comments below and I will link the bag, the tarot box thing, and the decks that are not mass market and, you know, easier to find for you. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.